Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you are loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. So today I want us to have a look at what they say Americans think about America. What Americans think about America. And I picked interest in this because, like I said, more than 50% of my audience are Americans. And I want to have this discussion with you. And that's why I'm always interested in things that concern our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. So this question is mainly for you. You're going to leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section as well if the opinion of these persons are not what you think it is. Of course we are entitled to our opinions, and we are just trying to see how we help ourselves live sane and see how we can talk ourselves out of situations that is around us as the melanated people. So what Americans think about America. Remember, there was a video here, we had a discussion about the African-American brother in Kenya, and I'm bringing his situation because of the discussions that we will listen to soon. Now, he was like, he was talking to the Kenyan women and he was saying to them that they should be grateful that they have someone like him who is handsome, he's tall, he's educated, and he is from America. So he's more than all the men in Kenya, and they have to be grateful because he is the one that is contributing to their economy. He said a lot of things in that video which I shared with you here, and then I gave my own 2 cents about what he said as well. Now, when we have people like our brother, African-American brother, who said he's educated, he's learned, and he's from America because he feel like that is the crown of it all, that he is from America. So the whole world, you know, this American dream, a lot of people had it many years ago. American dream, a lot of people from different parts of the world tried their best to get into America, and you understand what I'm saying when I say the American dream. Even till today, a lot of Africans are ready to sell their home, their landed properties, their inheritance, just to get out into America. A lot of Africans, when they travel to America, is an achievement. They are grateful for it. You see? So, what are we saying? The American dream that is sold to people, is that the same thing that is still happening now? Is this still the deal now? Let's listen to some Americans.
And say this respectfully. But after 10 years in Mexico, and then I come back to the United States, I am deeply concerned about what I see as a psychological discomfort that is so obvious in comparison to Mexico. People from the United States can be the best, kindest, most responsible people, but a large majority look like they're just losing it. The last couple of days I've risked it and I've asked people, when I said good afternoon to you or hello, why, if you don't mind me asking, did you just pull away and turn your back? One said, I just want to be left alone. That's fine. Thank you for answering my question. The one that I thought was most interesting was the Mexicana. When I asked her why she got defensive and kind of turned her back to me, she was really honest and sweet. She said, you know, in Mexico, people, they see you in trouble, they help. Here in the United States, they see you in trouble, they try to find a reason to look away. She said, in Mexico, everyone can look different in one family, but here in the United States, everything's racialized. And the pressure, like here in Orange County, California, the pressure of always being alone, you just zone out. And I think we see a real issue here in the United States that it's going to snap soon or it's going to get fixed. Because there's no way you can have this much pressure, this much solidarity, not solidarity, this much being alone and make it. And I feel really sorry for people because there are people outside of the United States who people from the United States look down on, and they're living their best lives. They may eat only beans and rice, but they're happy. They may only eat noodles, but they're happy. And if you say hello to them, they will say hello. They will turn their whole body to you. And they will say, so good to see you. Have a great day. They'll even start talking to you. They'll want to get to know you. That wanting to get to know you after you say hi to somebody here in the United States, unheard of. Completely unheard of. Again, I love my country. But I'm sorry, I feel sorry for the sadness and the tension, the loneliness and the fear that I see in so many people.
America is not normal. America is not normal. Story time. So, if you've never seen me before, I live in Tbilisi, Georgia. I left the United States in 2021. I started in Mexico, got residency, decided it wasn't the right place for me. I've lived in 7 countries. That means at least 3 months or longer. And now I'm currently in Tbilisi, Georgia. I'm actually on the laundromat here. I did a previous video about some tips, but America is not normal. And I'm going to tell you why. So I signed a lease, kind of a long-term lease here in Tbilisi, Georgia. And I pay in cash. Well, that was before I got an account. So I'm paying in cash, and he comes to my apartment to pick it up. So when he was coming, I asked him to bring me a copy of the contract that we signed. He was like, oh, I thought I did, or whatever. He was like, okay, I don't have it with me now. I'll come by in a day or so and do it. So 2 days later, he comes by with the contract and to pick up the rent. Now, you all know, as Americans, rent day is rent day, right? I had already decided I'm not going to pay a late fee, right? Because I had already had my explanation, my argument put together. Like, I was waiting on you to bring the lease, so you decided it took you that long to bring the lease, right? My whole argument, you know how we do in the United States, right? And so I'm like, I was ready to tell him I'm not going to pay a fee. And then I was thinking, well, what if he says, well, if you don't pay, then you're going to be evicted. So I'm trying to think through, okay, so how am I going to handle this situation? So anyway, he comes, he brings the contract, and I'm prepared to give him the rent. So we're downstairs, and there's a co-working space in my building on the bottom floor. So I go in there and I sit down and I say to him, I said, listen, I don't think I should have to pay a late fee because, it took you a long time to bring me the contract. I didn't say that I wasn't going to pay you the rent without the contract. I just said to bring the contract, and you decided not to come pick up the rent. So that's not my fault. He was looking at me baffled, like, what is she talking about? I was like, you don't remember this conversation? I was like, I have the notes, I have the messages on WhatsApp, so I can prove my point. And he was like, I'm not charging you late rent. I don't understand. I was like, oh, I just want to be clear because I know that there is a clause in the contract about late fees, and I don't want there to be an issue, and I don't want you sending the police and putting a note on my door and trying to evict me. He was like, evict? This man said, in my 40s, I have a family. I manage 15 properties. He said, I have never seen anyone evicted from their apartment. Never, not a friend, not a family member, not me. Never. I've never seen anyone evicted. So, y'all, I'm in shock. Because, in America, if you a couple minutes late, you got a note on your door, they done changed the locks. Listen, you out on the street. He was like, what are you, he was like, we would never do that. Like, why would we do that? I was like, so what if somebody can't pay rent? Like, what if, he said, listen, if you ever have an issue with rent, just call me and we'll figure something out. Y'all, I was blown away. I was blown away, y'all. I was baffled. The way we live in America is not normal. People are not so aggressive and disregarding your humanity. Like, he couldn't even fathom the fact that I thought he would possibly put me out of my apartment. Okay, that's number one. Number two, buying a house. I bought a house in my life. Maybe you bought a house in your life, right? You bought a house in the United States, you literally have to give them your left liver and your auntie's ear, right? Just to get to the process, just to get approved, just through the process. And you're biting your nails the whole time. You're waiting. There's all this paperwork. You got to prove that your job is good enough, that your debt to income ratio is right, yada, yada, yada. Listen, here, they have properties that you can buy as an American, right? You want to diversify your investments, which I do recommend. So let's say if I were to buy a property, and the properties here are pretty inexpensive. I'm talking about new construction. Let's say I were to buy a property for $50,000, and I have some money, but I don't want to get a loan, right? I can buy a property here. They will say, okay, it's $50,000, pay us 10% down, and we'll go ahead and do the construction. It'll take about 2 years for the property to be built. And then you just pay a certain amount of money to us every month until it's paid off within that term, and we're good. What? What about the interest rate? There's no interest. What? What about the credit check? There's no credit check. Not normal. It's not normal for someone, for the state or the government or whoever you want to call it, or the bank to take your home from you because you missed a property payment, or for the HOA to take your home because you missed a couple of HOA payments. That is not normal, y'all. That's not the real world. Now, I'm not telling you that there aren't situations where people get loans abroad and things like that. But the way that we are treated in America and the expectations that are put upon us that we think are normal, and we think we're always falling short, that we're not good enough. Oh, I don't have perfect credit. Oh, I don't have the right debt to income ratio. I've been evicted in the past, so I don't deserve to have a roof over my head. That is not how the rest of the world operates. The rest of the world doesn't think we have to prove our worth as a human being to have shelter over our heads. The way we live, well, because I'm not there no more. The way you live in America is not normal.
All right, Majesties, I have the joy in me that we have people who understand this, that America is not heaven. It's not heaven like the mainstream media have pushed it to us. And for some of us who are like that African American brother in Kenya who is just going up and down intimidating people, a lot of Americans look down on people who live in other parts of the world, thinking that their life in America is the perfect life. But no, it is not. There's a lot of things that a lot of melanated accept that they shouldn't be accepting. And they're accepting because they choose to, most of the times. That's why I said sometimes, most of the times they choose to. Because they have opportunities at their beck and call. They have opportunities before them that they can utilize, but they feel like, no, let me just stay in this system. Maybe this is how things should be, when things are not so normal. Things are not normal. Anyway, I felt like showing this to you today. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. And I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others. Stay safe, stay positive, always your Majesties. Bye for now.